Happy Friday, YouTube! Welcome back to the channel, Channeliness. So, today I'm going to tell a little bit of a story that involves what my biggest fear is. I am intensely acrophobic, which means I'm really afraid of heights. This story occurred a couple of years ago when I was traveling with my family in Zion National Park, Utah. I highly recommend that you go. It is gorgeous there, and there are plenty of things to do. There's also one of the world's largest movie screens there, and I got to see Star Trek on it. One of Zion's biggest tourist attractions is their hiking trail, Angel's Landing. This hiking trail has gotten so much recognition that they have those shirts that full on say, "I survived Angel's Landing," and caps, "I survived Angel's Landing." Bumper stickers, "I survived Angel's Landing." You know, after seeing so much stuff being in Zion that was like, hey, you have to survive this. Like, actually, you have to survive this. You can't just walk this hiking trail. I was kind of suspicious of this trail. I was not looking forward to it. But my parents, of course, wanted to take me and my sister on this trail and just get the full experience of Zion. So they did. Anyway, so we hopped on this bus and took a ride up to the trailhead. And you know how on rides they have that, like, sign that says, other than the "you must be this tall to ride," it'll be like, "Don't go on this ride if you have a heart condition or are pregnant or have this issue or this issue or this issue or this is blah 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 blah." This hiking trail had one of them. It had one of those signs that say, if you have a heart condition, or if you are pregnant, or if you are acrophobic, don't go on this hiking trail. Now, being terrified of heights, I looked at this sign pretty darn quickly and latched to it. I told my parents that it was probably a bad idea for me to go on this trail because it had a warning sign. And I'm a smart child who wants to keep herself preserved in survival. I pointed it out, and of course, as parents do, they just thought I was being lazy, which was partially true. But not the point. I was scared. Now, I thought I got what this sign meant in the beginning of the trail, because basically what happens is you go on this little pathway, and it goes up to this cliffside, and in the cliffside they have a bunch of zigzags carved into it, so you can kind of go up and have it be a decent workout and be a nice little hike. And if you looked out over the edge of one of the zigzags and kind of cast a look down at the canyon floor, it was pretty scary, but the only way that you could get hurt other than inducing vertigo was if you rebounded off the inside of the tunnel wall and launched yourself down the cliff, tumbling down all the little zigzags, which would be bad, but very unlikely. I got through the zigzag part, and I was like, okay, maybe that wasn't so bad. And we start going back through this really pretty canyon with all these red sandstone things and bright green trees, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous in there, and I was so content with nature. It was a good zen moment in my life. But then we got to another trail marker that said, "This is the start of Angel's Landing." What? So what I thought was the height portion of Angel's Landing was not. In fact, the actual hiking trail on Angel's Landing is this. 1,200-foot drop on either side. The highest point on this hiking trail, you can fall 1,500 feet off of a sandstone cliff to your death. Because after falling 1,500 feet, chances are you're gonna die. You are gonna die, and at some points the hiking trail is literally this big. and you are supposed to cross it without falling 1,200 or 1,500 feet to your doom. And that was a problem, because also, the only way you are supposed to scale this frickin' thing is a chain that has been staked into the sandstone and is supposed to help you climb. So, after, 4 panic attacks and at least 20 people walking by me telling me that their huge parties had given up about 100 yards ago, I made it to the top. And at this point, I am sitting like this, as opposed to enjoying the gorgeous view, because I was just not okay. I was tired because I'd had panic attacks and had to cry and collapse on the ground at multiple points, and I'm shocked I made it to the top of that trail. In all honesty, I am still really shocked. Despite the fact that people tell you it's worth it when you get up there, if you're that scared, it's not, because you don't even pay attention. You just pay attention to the fact that you had 4 panic attacks and all of the tourists in Zion National Park witnessed you cry. After being up there a while, we had lunch in our little fanny pack, and I kind of calmed down a little bit, and then we had to start preparing to go back down. I was not looking forward to going back down after having all that problem coming up this thing. I was expected to go back down, and that's not okay, because then you risk all the 1,200 foot dropping again, and it's a problem. Anyway, my mom came up with this brilliant suggestion, and it was brilliant, that I didn't actually have to, climb down the cliff again, like we had to climb up. I could just slide and scoot and not die. I was on the ground. So I decided to go down the mountain like this. So I was actually really safe going down this mountain. And, at the end, like most people who are terrified of heights will do once they are back on actual solid ground that isn't gonna drop them 1,200 feet if they fall off it, I did something like this. Land! 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 Now, as funny as falling on the ground and screaming land is, my mom was laughing a little bit too hard. And like most people would do if you suddenly have people laughing at you, I asked, why? My mom's response at this point was, you may want to pull down your shirt. I had sanded through my pants, sliding down the sandstone cliff. I had worn holes in my pants right there. I mean, if you're gonna ruin your pants because you're afraid, that's probably the last thing you expect. Sanding through them because you're scared, as opposed to, soiling yourself or something not so dignified as ripping them. So, my lovely reunion with the ground had been ruined by the fact that I had ripped my pants on the ground because I was scared. And it was sad. Because I liked those pants. I liked those pants. But the lesson I learned from this experience is that, not that I can conquer my fear, because that would be a normal thing to learn, but that sandstone actually can sand through pants. And also, even if you're scared of something, sometimes trying to conquer it doesn't make it worth it. And yeah, so that's my story about my pants. I have many stories about pants. Of my many stories about my relationship with pants, that is one of them. And that is the end. Goodbye! Also, I'm gonna start doing a new thing at the end of my videos. This is my movie recommendation of the week. Big Fish, Tim Burton's movie Big Fish. If you watch it, it will move you and you will cry, and it is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. So I highly recommend looking it up. And yeah, bye!